Most people are slaves to their emotions, exploding in anger at the slightest provocation, only to watch their power crumble in an instant. But what if I told you that in just 20 minutes you'll master the hidden psychology to never lose control again? Backed by Harvard research on emotional intelligence, this changes everything if you've ever felt manipulated after showing your rage. Have you ever snapped at a coworker during a heated argument, only to see them smirk as they gain the upper hand? Or in a relationship where your outburst turned you into the unreasonable one while they played the calm victim? These moments aren't accidents. They're traps you've fallen into because society conditioned you to believe expressing anger is healthy or authentic. But let's be real. Your noble intent to stand up for yourself backfires every time, leaving you exhausted and defeated. Think about it. How many times have you walked away from a confrontation feeling like you lost, even if you were right? Your anger didn't solve the problem. It amplified it, giving the other person ammunition to twist the narrative. The truth is, most people are wired to react impulsively, handing over their power on a silver platter. You've been taught that bottling up emotions is bad, but exploding them is worse. It exposes your vulnerabilities, invites counterattacks, and erodes your influence. Blame the cultural myths pushed by pop psychology and media, not your willpower. They glorify dramatic confrontations in movies and TV shows, where the hero's rage leads to victory, but in real life, it keeps you weak and predictable. Society rewards the composed, not the combustible. By amplifying this problem, you're not alone. Billions suffer from it daily, losing jobs, relationships, and respect. Studies from the World Health Organization link uncontrolled anger to higher rates of stress-related illnesses like hypertension and depression. It's a vicious cycle. You get provoked, you react, you regret, and the manipulator wins. But recognizing this cycle is the first step to breaking free, building that emotional investment in a solution that actually works. Imagine reclaiming those lost moments, turning defeat into dominance without raising your voice. Pattern interrupt. Pause for a second. What if your next outburst never happens? What if you could watch others unravel while you stay rock solid? That's the shift we're making. Now, let's dive into the authority framework that underpins this transformation. At its core is the psychological principle of emotional framing, drawn from Daniel Goleman's groundbreaking work on emotional intelligence, which shows that those who control their emotions outperform others by 80% in leadership and negotiations. Studies from the American Psychological Association reveal that visible anger triggers a subconscious threat response in others, shifting power dynamics against you. This isn't just opinion, it's backed by neuroimaging research from Yale University, where fMRI scans show that observing anger activates the observer's fight-or-flight system, making them defensive and strategic against you. This connects to universal human behavior patterns. We're all hardwired by evolution to detect weakness in emotional displays. A survival mechanism from our tribal days when showing rage could mean exile or defeat. Anger, specifically, signals loss of control, making you predictable and exploitable. Historical examples abound. Consider how Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius practiced stoicism to maintain power, noting in his Meditations that anger clouds judgment and invites rebellion. Modern psychology echoes this. The APA's meta-analysis of over 100 studies found that angry individuals are perceived as less competent and trustworthy, reducing their social capital by up to £60 shares. But here's the framework to flip this. We'll break it into 3 clear levels: recognition, protection, and mastery. In recognition, you'll learn to spot the hidden mechanisms of anger triggers and why they sabotage you, complete with real-world breakdowns. Protection arms you with real-time defenses to neutralize threats without reaction, including step-by-step scripts. Mastery elevates you to invert the game, turning others' provocations into your advantage with advanced tactics. This isn't fluffy theory. It's practical psychology you can apply today, transforming you from reactive victim to untouchable victor. By the end, you'll have tools tested in high-stakes environments, from corporate boardrooms to personal conflicts, ensuring you never lose the upper hand again. Level 1. Recognition. To master this, you first need to understand the psychological machinery behind why showing anger means you've already lost. At its root is the amygdala hijack, a term coined by Goleman, where your brain's emotional center overrides rational thought, flooding you with adrenaline and cortisol. Harvard studies show this happens in milliseconds, turning logical people into impulsive reactors. Why do most fall for it? Because anger feels empowering in the moment, like a release valve, but it's an illusion. It broadcasts your breaking point, allowing manipulators to push exactly there. Neurologically, this ties to the limbic system's dominance over the neocortex, making you act on instinct rather than strategy. Consider a classic example. In the workplace, your boss criticizes your project unfairly during a team meeting. You feel the heat rising, heart pounding, face flushing, muscles tensing. If you lash out, "That's ridiculous. I've worked overtime on this," you've lost. They now see your trigger, labeling you as emotional or unprofessional, and the team sides with the calm authority figure. Research from the Journal of Applied Psychology confirms angry employees are 40% less likely to get promotions, as it erodes trust and collaboration. Dig deeper. A study by the Society for Human Resource Management found that 72% of workplace conflicts escalate due to emotional outbursts, leading to decreased productivity and higher turnover. Or in relationships, your partner forgets an important date and you explode. "How could you be so careless? Do I even matter to you?" They retreat, playing the victim, and suddenly you're apologizing for overreacting. Why? Because anger reveals your investment level, giving them leverage to deflect blame. Case study. Think of historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, who famously wrote hot letters of anger but never sent them, storing them away to cool off. He recognized that visible rage weakened his position in negotiations, as seen in his handling of the Civil War cabinet crises. Modern parallels include therapy sessions where couples report that anger cycles destroy intimacy. According to the Journal of Family Psychology, pairs who express rage openly have divorce rates 30% higher. Aha moment. Most people mistake anger for strength, but it's weakness disguised. It's why bullies provoke. They feed on your reaction, gaining dominance through your loss of composure. Evolutionary psychology explains this. In ancient times, showing rage meant you were cornered, signaling defeat to the tribe and inviting opportunistic attacks. Today, it's the same in boardrooms or bedrooms. Anger makes you a target. Recognize the signs. Physical cues like tightening chest, racing thoughts, clenched fists, or the urge to interrupt. Psychological cues include rumination on past injustices or projecting unrelated frustrations. Once you see this pattern, you realize you've been playing a rigged game, conditioned by childhood lessons like, "Let it out," that actually serve manipulators. Let's expand with another example. Road rage incidents. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you honk furiously, yelling obscenities. What happens? They might escalate, or worse, you risk an accident. Statistics from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration show aggressive driving contributes to 66% of fatal crashes, often starting with visible anger. Why fall for it? Because it's a microcosm of daily life. Impersonal triggers feel personal due to ego involvement. Aha! Anger isn't about the trigger. It's about your unresolved insecurities amplified, like low self-esteem or fear of disrespect. Social media provides endless case studies. A troll comments negatively on your post, and you fire back angrily. Result? You get piled on while they laugh. Research from Pew Research Center indicates that 41% of users experience harassment, and responders who show anger prolong the conflict. Recognize why. Platforms amplify emotional visibility, turning private rage into public weakness. Pattern interrupt. Stop right there. What if the next time someone pushes your buttons, you smile instead? Feels counterintuitive, right? That's the power we're building. Imagine the confusion on their face as their tactic fails spectacularly. Continuing in recognition, let's unpack more nuanced patterns. In friendships, a subtle dig about your choices, like "you're still single, must be picky," can spark defensiveness. If you retort angrily, the friendship sours. Dark psychology experts like Robert Greene in The 48 Laws of Power warn that emotion reveals strategy, making you vulnerable to further probes. Aha! True recognition comes when you see anger as a symptom, not the disease, rooted in unmet needs like respect or validation. By identifying these, you dismantle the automatic response, setting the stage for protection. Level 2. Protection. Now that you recognize the trap, let's arm you with bulletproof defenses to shield yourself in real time. The key is emotional neutrality, maintaining a calm exterior while processing internally, turning potential explosions into controlled responses. First strategy, the pause protocol. When anger surges, count to 10 silently, breathing deeply with a 4-7-8 technique. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. This engages your prefrontal cortex, overriding the amygdala hijack. The moment you do this, you regain control, preventing visible reaction. Backed by mindfulness research from the University of Wisconsin, this reduces emotional reactivity by 50% after consistent practice. Specific language script. Instead of exploding, say neutrally, "Interesting point. Let me think on that and get back to you." This disarms them, as they expect rage, and buys you time to strategize. In real-time recognition, watch for micro-triggers like sarcasm, eye-rolling, or dismissive tones. If your boss says, "This work is subpar," don't defend angrily with, "I've done my best." Instead, respond, "What specific improvements would you suggest to align with expectations?" It shifts focus to them, protecting your frame and gathering useful intel. Counter technique, mirroring. Reflect their words back calmly. "It sounds like you're frustrated with the project timeline." This validates without conceding, diffusing tension and making them feel heard, which often calms aggressors. Promise immediate results. The moment you implement this, arguments shorten by half. Per conflict resolution studies from the Gottman Institute, which analyzed thousands of couples and found neutral responses prevent escalation 70% of the time. In relationships, protection means boundary setting without emotion. If your partner provokes with criticism like, "You never listen," don't yell back. State firmly, "I won't engage if this turns heated. Let's revisit when we're both calm." Then walk away briefly to a neutral space. This starves their manipulation of fuel and models healthy behavior. Behavioral change. Practice daily anger audits. At night, journal 3 triggers from the day, noting what you'd say calmly next time. Apps like Dailyo can track this, building habit through repetition. More strategies. Visualization exercises. Before tense situations, like a family gathering, spend 5 minutes imagining staying stoic amid provocations. See yourself responding with poise. This rewires your neural pathways, as per neuroplasticity research from Stanford. Or the detach drill. View the provoker as a child throwing a tantrum. Shift to pity or curiosity, not anger. Why are they acting out? What's their insecurity? Real-time example, traffic rage. Someone cuts you off. Instead of honking furiously, think, "Their hurry isn't my emergency. Maybe they're late for something important." Instantly, your power stays intact, and you avoid road stress, which the AAA Foundation links to thousands of incidents yearly. Rhetorical question. How often have you regretted an angry outburst? Protection ends that cycle forever. Build this habit, and you'll notice manipulators backing off. They sense your unbreakable calm and seek easier targets. Pattern interrupt. Imagine flipping the script so completely that they end up angry while you stay serene. That's next-level protection we're unlocking. Picture their frustration as your silent victory. Advancing protection. Use fogging technique from assertiveness training. Agree partially to deflate attacks without full concession. If accused, "You're always late," respond, "You're writ." Timing can be tricky sometimes. I'll aim to improve. No defense, no anger, just neutrality stealing their thunder. In group settings like meetings, redirect energy. Let's focus on solutions rather than blame. What steps can we take forward? This positions you as the rational leader, earning allies. For chronic provokers, employ grey rocking. Become boring and unresponsive emotionally. Give minimal, factual replies. Noted. This deprives them of the reaction they crave, often causing them to disengage. Studies from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology show that non-reactive individuals are seen as more powerful in social hierarchies. Immediate actionable steps. Today, pick one recurring trigger scenario, like email criticisms, and script 3 calm responses. Practice in the mirror or with a friend. Record yourself to refine tone. The transformation: you'll sleep better, stress less, command more respect overnight, and even see health benefits like lower blood pressure, as per Mayo Clinic research on anger management. Let's add depth with a layered approach. Combine techniques. Pause plus mirror. Feel rage. Pause, then mirror. This compound effect multiplies efficacy. In high stakes like negotiations, add body language. Uncross arms, maintain open posture to signal control. Level 3. Mastery. You've recognized the weakness and protected against it. Now, ascend to mastery, where you flip power dynamics entirely, wielding calm as a weapon. This separates the truly powerful from everyone else who remains reactive. Advanced technique. Strategic serenity. Not just staying calm, but using their provocation to expose and exploit their weaknesses subtly. How? Induce their anger through calm, probing questions. What makes you say that? Can you elaborate on your reasoning? It forces them to justify, often revealing insecurity or flawed logic, putting them on defense. In negotiations, if they push aggressively, respond with deliberate silence, a power move that creates discomfort, making them fill the void and concede ground. Historical reference. Sun Tzu's Art of War teaches that the supreme art is subduing the enemy without fighting. Provoke their anger to cloud their judgment while yours remains clear. Psychological superiority. View emotions as tools, not tyrants. Yours to deploy strategically. Master the inverted trigger. Turn their attempt to anger you into your internal amusement. Smile faintly, thinking, "They're trying so hard to get a rise. How predictable." This internal shift radiates unshakable confidence, unnerving them subconsciously. Body language mastery. Maintain steady eye contact, relaxed shoulders, non-verbal cues that scream control. Flip dynamics in action. In a heated debate, if they escalate with volume, respond softly and slowly. "I see this matters a lot to you, perhaps more than I realized." It highlights their loss of control, framing you as the composed victor while they appear unhinged. Separate yourself. Most people react impulsively. You orchestrate deliberately. Build this through power meditation. Daily. Spend 10 minutes affirming, "I control the frame. Others' emotions are my leverage." Visualize past wins where calm prevailed. Case study. Elite poker players like Phil Ivey bluff with stone faces. Showing anger would reveal their hand and bankrupt them. You now play life the same way. Unreadable, always one step ahead. Another example. In politics, figures like Angela Merkel mastered this, remaining stoic amid crises, which bolstered her influence globally. Rhetorical question. Ready to make others question their own sanity while you thrive in serene dominance. More mastery tactics. Empathy, judo. Use feigned understanding to redirect aggression like a martial artist uses force against itself. I get why you'd feel that way based on your perspective. Let's explore alternatives that benefit us both. It disarms, builds rapport, and positions you above the fray. In toxic environments, master graceful exits. This conversation isn't productive right now. Let's circle back later. Then observe their frustration from afar, gathering insights for future interactions. Ultimate edge. Cultivate dark detachment. Emotionally invest minimally in outcomes, treating conflicts as games. This makes you unpredictable, a trait dark psychology masters like Machiavelli prized in The Prince. Detach by questioning. Does this truly affect my core goals? Often no. You're now psychologically superior, seeing the hidden emotional game others stumble through blindly. Practice in low stakes. Next small annoyance, experiment with inversion. Turn it into an opportunity to test your mastery. To solidify, integrate with daily life. Track mastery moments in a journal, rating your control on a 1-10 scale. Over time, you'll hit consistent 10s, embedding this as second nature. Now, let's make this real with applications in diverse scenarios. Scenario 1. Workplace confrontation over credit theft. Old you. Colleague claims your idea. You snap angrily. That's my work. You're stealing. Escalation leads to HR involvement, damaging your rep. New you. Pause, then probe calmly. Interesting. How did you arrive at that approach? It aligns with what I proposed earlier. Outcome. They falter, exposing themselves. Boss notices your poise, leading to better assignments and potential promotion. You gain allies who admire your handling. Scenario 2. Relationship argument about chores. Old you. Partner slacks off. You yell, I'm tired of doing everything, creating distance and resentment. New you. Mirror and boundary set. It seems like something's bothering you. Want to talk about it? Otherwise, I need us to share tasks evenly. Outcome? Deeper connection as they open up about stress. Bond strengthens, conflicts resolve faster, fostering mutual respect and intimacy. Scenario 3. Social manipulation at a networking event. Friend undermines you publicly with a joke about your career stall. Old you. Retort heatedly. That's not funny. Shut up. Alienating the group. New you. Smile faintly. Fog with, that's an interesting perspective. Everyone's path is different. Then redirect to a positive topic. Outcome. You appear confident and mature. They look petty, elevating your status. New connections approach you, seeing leadership potential. Scenario 4. Family gathering tension. Old you. Relative criticizes your life choices. You explode defensively. New you. Detach and invert. I appreciate your concern. What's worked for you in similar situations? Outcome. They share, you learn or deflect. Harmony preserved, you emerge as the wise one. These old versus new shifts are immediately actionable. Pick one scenario this week, rehearse the new response, and apply. Track results, adjust as needed. You'll see ripple effects, stronger networks, healthier relationships, personal growth. With this knowledge comes great responsibility. This isn't a weapon for predation or malicious manipulation. It's your shield for protection in a manipulative world fraught with emotional landmines. Use it ethically to empower yourself and others. Frame yourself as the guardian of your peace, perhaps even teaching trusted allies to break free from reactivity. Acknowledge the power. Mishandled, it could tempt dark uses, but you're better than that. You're now part of the elite small percentage, less than 5% per emotional intelligence surveys, who truly understands the hidden emotional game, wielding it for good. This exclusivity builds your inner strength. Carry it with integrity. Pattern interrupt. Feel that surge of empowerment. That's you stepping into victory. Hold on to it. You're not the same person who started this video. You've unlocked the dangerous secret. The moment they see you're angry, you've already lost. But mastering calm turns you into the invisible conqueror. You now see the invisible strings others pull in every interaction, cutting them effortlessly to your advantage. The world looks different, opportunities where others see threats. For next-level mastery, check my upcoming video on silent influence tactics, how to command without words. Dive deeper into advanced dark psychology there. Remember this memorable quote: "The greatest power is self-mastery. Lose your temper and you've lost the war. Win it silently, and the world is yours." Stay protected, stay powerful, and transform every challenge into triumph.